everyone, welcome back to the Crossroads. John here. Now today we're going to be talking about how to really nail the 5 chord in a blues turnaround, how you can solo over it. Now this can be quite tricky, but I'm going to explain some easy ways to do it, and at the end I'll give you 4 5 chord licks and I'll break them down, explain exactly what's going on. And today we're playing a blues in A, so we've got A7, D7 and E7. Now, if we're playing over those changes with the pentatonic scale, it's really good. You've got everything you need. So for example, okay, so what I mean by everything you need is for the A chord in the pentatonic scale, you've got an A note. For the D, you've got a D. And for the E7 or E9 chord, you've got an E. And that's what I did there in that basic example. I just played an A chord, finished on the A for the D, finished on the D, and for the E, to the E. Okay, now so that sounds good. So what's the problem with that, I hear ask? Well, over the E7 chord there are 2 notes which aren't in the pentatonic scale, and if you really want to nail the sound of a 5 change, you want to get these notes right. All right, so we've got a G sharp and a B. These are 2 notes which are in the E7 chord, but they're not in the pentatonic scale. So if you really want to nail those changes, as I said, they're the notes you want to do. So at the beginning I played. So what I did there was I started on the E note, and then I took this G note and I bent it to the G sharp note. So this is a G sharp again here. I was just showing you there a G sharp, but here's another one. And then, so what I did there was I took the A note and then I bent it up to the B note. So I'm getting everything in there. I've got the E. When I went down, that 8. And then I'm landing here on the 7th. Why am I doing that? That's another E note. So kind of I've included everything in this lick. So I've got the E, got the G sharp, and I've even gone back to the E again there. So that's great because you're really outlining that change. That other one I did, where I'm pulling off the A to the E, D, E, and then I bend back to the E again on the 9th fret. That's a good one too, but you're not focusing on those 2 extra notes. So if you can get those in there, the B sounds really bluesy. You can hear that 5 chord, can't you? That's what I'm doing, E, D, A. But if you play that kind of 5, so you could really hear those chords there, you know, E going to D, going to the A. So I am going to show you 4 licks now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play through the lick and I'm going to break down exactly what I was thinking on these licks, all right? I'm sure you've heard that lick from time to time. It's a kind of classic lick, but it works really well. Let me explain it. So what I'm doing here, the first thing I'm starting on is a note which isn't in the pentatonic scale, but I'm walking up, it's in the major pentatonic scale actually, but what we're doing is we're going 7, 8, 9, But all that really is a walk up. The ninth fret is that G sharp that I played before, which is one of those notes I mentioned isn't in the pentatonic scale. Now why did I go to this 12th fret? That's the E note. And I do this. Now going down 9, 8, 7, this is an F sharp note, which is the third of the D chord. So really, when you go up, third to the root. When you go down, that's the third, and then the root of D is that 10th fret. Now I go down 7, 6, 5. That's landing on the 5th fret, which is an E note, which is the 5 of A. So this all kind of flows nicely. That bit I did at the end, I bend up this 7th fret up a half step, let down and pull off, hammer on to that 7th fret again, 7 on the B. Then I finish with this, which is double stop I did 5 on the high E, 8 on the B, 7 and 5, 6 and 5, and then 5 and 5. Alright, so that's a good one you can try. You can finish on that classic ending there. So for this next lick, I'm starting on the A note, but only really quickly because I'm going to that B note. Again, that note that isn't in the pentatonic scale. Bend it up a whole step, let back down to the B. And then what I'm doing is a little move here, same as I did before when I did that other one at the beginning, where I'm doing a double bend here on the 12th fret of the G, bending to the G sharp again, that other note again. And that's the end of the E. Then we go to the D. And I'm starting on the D note here. Slide into that 11th fret, that's the F sharp again. There was one we played there in that last lick. Then to the A, which is the 10th fret of the B, that's the 5th of D. Then I'll finish with 12 on the B, 11 on the G, back to the A there. You could finish with that thing I did at the end. Again, if you wanted to, you know, to finish that lick off. But that's a good one. This one is quite cool because I'm starting in our usual box 1. And that's what I do. So I'm starting on the A note, and then I'm sliding from the 7th to the 9th. That's a D going to the E. Then I'm bending that G into the G sharp again. So hitting the E and the G sharp. And then I slide back from 9 to 7, pull off the 5. And then I do a little curl on the 5. And then that's 7 on the D, 7 on the A. So this, that's the same for the second bit. That's 7 on the D, slide up 7 to 9. And then grab this one, the 8, but don't bend it. So far we've got this. This is a move where you take the 7 on the G, slide it up to 8, back to 7, pull off to 5. Alright? And then to that 7 again. So 7, 7, and the hammer on 5 to 6, and then you do this move, which is a cool one. This is 7 on the D and 5 here on the A, and then you go back to 4. That's the 4 is the C sharp for the A, the third. Lick number 4, the last one over the 5 chord. This is quite an interesting one because you're starting in the pentatonic. This is a D note. You could think of that as the 7th of D, the flat 7. Then I'm hammering on quickly from 6 to 7. That's the D sharp going to the E note, the E again. Then I do a quick hammer on from 5 to 6. That's the G going to the G sharp again. Then I do this move where I go the 5th fret here on the B, 8, 7. That's really doing this. Now that's really the root going to the flat 7 again, going to the D. So I started on that D. But just to stay in position, I'm doing it there. And that's it for the E. Now to the D. That's 7 on the D. 5 slide back to 4. The 4 is the F sharp, which is the 3rd. And then I go 7, which is the D. Back to 4, back to 7. And then a little curl twice, that 5, curl to 6, that's the C going to the C sharp, which is the 3rd of A, so it's all thirds really. Then I finish with this classic. Ending kind of turn around, that's 5 on the D, 5 on the high E, back to 5 on the D, and then you're moving down to 4 on the D, high E again, back to the D, 3, 3, 2, and then you could finish it like that if you wanted to. So there we go. There's some licks for the 5 chord, and the principles of playing over the 5 chord. So if you were playing the pentatonic over the top and you're thinking, oh, I'm getting lost here, if you can really get, you know, that G sharp and the B in there and take those licks, you don't have to worry about why they work for now. They do. They will work over the 5 chord. So we're in a blues in A, of course. So there we go. Let me know how you get on. Love to know how you're getting on. To me a message or a video. And thanks so much for watching, by the way. And I'll see you back here at the Crossroads next week.